There's a lot of questions now that a Hampton Superior Court judge reversed the state's firing of Holyoke Soldiers Home Superintendent Bennett Walsh.
And tonight, 22 News reporter Mike Mascadrelli joining us now live with what this means for Walsh and the future of management there at the home.
Well, yesterday we learned that Walsh legally could not have been fired by Governor Baker or Secretary of Health and Human Services Mary Lou Sudders. That power rests with the Board of Trustees, who plan to make a decision on the home's next leader soon.
Let's put it this way, Judge Ferreira's opinion comes as no shock to me.
It was a decision that came as a surprise for some, but not for the Board of Trustees. Judge John Ferreira's ruling means that Bennett Walsh is no longer terminated, but he's also still not the superintendent.
Well, as of now, Val Liptak is still the interim superintendent of the Holyoke Soldiers Home, and the Board of Trustees told 22 News that they're happy with her work, but they want to put in a full-time and long-term superintendent, and Bennett Walsh will be part of that discussion.
There is an absolute sense of urgency that we need a long-term permanent leader of the facility, and that is why we need to address, first things first, the continued employment of Bennett Walsh.
Neighbors are hoping that whoever is in charge, they'll have medical experts assisting with important decisions.
I would hope in the future that the administrators would have some kind of medical background, that there would be more medical people involved in making the decisions.
The Board of Trustees will hold a special meeting next Wednesday to resume talks on Walsh's future employment, which they were going to decide back in April before the state terminated him.
Whether or not Walsh is back being on a suspended status and is being paid is unclear. We will let you know as soon as we get an update. Working for you live in Holyoke, Mike Mascadrelli, 22 News.